everyone, my name is May. Welcome back to me. I'm refilming this because I actually filmed it halfway through the year and then totally forgot about editing it, so we're back. Huzzah! My thought is to kind of do this tag and then power on and keep learning this fucking huge monologue that I have to learn. Anyway, as you can see from these, yes, I have run 2 marathons by this point. I ran both Canberra and Sydney, and then I also ran Sydney Surf, which is a massive fun run that happens in Sydney that's like 13 kilometers of a lot of hills. Known for being the biggest fun run in the world. There's like 80,000 people that run it. It's huge. Anyway, lots of fun. Distance running is definitely not something I'm giving up anytime soon. Would recommend if you haven't tried it. As for the mid-year book freakout tag, I normally do not release it until probably about September, but I thought I should at least try to have something that's done. So the first question of this tag is, what's the best book you've read so far this year? And this book I have read so far, Finding Me by Viola Davis. This book just fucking blew me away. I literally could not stop talking about this, and there's still parts of it that keep coming back to me. Not only is Viola Davis an incredible actress, the struggle she's gone through, the way she so empathetically tells her story is just beautiful. The second question is the best sequel I've read so far. The best sequel I've read so far would be Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, as it's the only sequel I have read this year, but that doesn't stop it being amazing. I did find some parts of it significantly more like creepy and occult than the first one. I listened to this a lot while I was training for my first marathon, and so like I kind of still in my brain associate it with like Sunday long runs. Still there's a point at like a 24th K mark when I was running that I just remember they were doing like part of the gauntlet walk in the book as they're trying to get to hell. Yeah, I'm running right now. You guys just go to hell. You just, yeah. Anyway, this book was great. I loved it a lot. I'm definitely looking forward to the next book. I really have liked this series a lot. Question number 3 is new releases that you haven't got to yet. I actually have all 3 of Sanderson's secret projects, which I have not read. I have started Triss of the Emerald Sea, but all 3 of these fucking beautiful books I have not completed yet, which is a real fucking shame. They are absolutely fucking beautiful. I spent a pretty penny on them last year when I was working full time. They're so different to many of Sanderson's other books, and it's just, they're great. My most anticipated book for the second half of the year, previously in the video that I originally filmed, I'd said Silverborn by Jessica Townsend, which is the 4th book to the Morrigan Crow series, but that actually has been pushed back till August next year, which I continue to stand by. Townsend, you do what you need to do to give us a good book. But for the love of everything fucking shiny, if you do a fucking Patrick Rothfuss to us, or Scott Lynch, or J.R.R. Tolkien, that's not what he's called, or J.R.R. Martin. I haven't actually read A Song of Ice and Fire, so I don't really care about that. But if you do a Scott Lynch or a Patrick Rothfuss to us and never give us that fucking book, I salute you for still doing the other ones, but I'll be very sad. Anyway, I'm excited for when Silverborn comes out next year. Instead, I would say my most anticipated release for the end of the year would be the 4th secret project. I feel like that surely is everyone's, like, this is just still the coolest thing to ever happen in fantasy, basically ever. Also, I haven't really kept my finger on the pulse of what books are coming out this year very well. I've kind of had my head in the sand. Question number 5, which they kind of eke out from the first question, saying the best book you've read. Question number 5 is the most disappointing book you have read so far in the year. For me, I have kind of 2 ones that have disappointed me a bit. First one is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I had this recommended to me literally years ago. I finally decided to pick it up, and it just didn't really hit for me. Wasn't convinced by any of the romance kind of shit that was going on. I did certainly enjoy parts of it, and I found it very addicting to read. As an overall book, I probably wouldn't pick it up again. I probably wouldn't recommend it if I'm honest. Like, I loved Spinning Silver. Didn't love this one as much. Or A Disappearing Number by Complicitate. Now, Complicitate, known for doing a lot of very, like, movement-based theatre, and so I feel like reading the play maybe just did a whole disservice to it, but I didn't particularly enjoy reading this play, and I feel like maybe to give it another read. Question number 6 is your biggest surprise. Now, for me, this one, well, partly is just enjoying the amount of non-fiction reading I've been doing, because that has been fucking amazing. Physical book reading-wise, I feel like my biggest surprise came from reading Invisible Women, Data Bias in a World Built for Men. This book was fucking amazing, and I did not shut up about this book for weeks. Felt like kind of my grandmother, who is a wonderfully chatty person and will talk to normally anyone. I literally talked to someone about this book at a train station. Like, this book burned into my brain, and it still comes up in conversation. I'll still talk to people about it. I've recommended it to so many people. Some pretty up-to-date literature. Harrowing book to realise how much of the world that we live in is structured around the default being a man. How do you feel being a second-class citizen if you're a woman? Or any other gender, because it's only built for men. Question number 7 is my favourite new author. Without a doubt, has to be Heinrich Ibsen, the playwright. I would like to marry Ibsen, if I'm honest. I don't know why we keep talking about Chekhov and Shakespeare when Ibsen is so cool. How come I'd never really heard of Ibsen until Now, I'd only really heard of Ibsen through Peer Gynt. You'll know Peer Gynt because Hall of the Mountain King comes from this play. Or Morning Mood. Those are two songs that are very well known that are from this play. That's music by Edvard Grieg. I vaguely knew in my head that Peer Gynt was written by Ibsen, Henrik Ibsen, but I'd never read the play. I actually still have not read the play. I've read several of other of Ibsen's work, and they're just beautiful. Newest fictional crush would have to be probably Nora from Adult's House. What a fucking slay. And my newest favourite character, probably also Nora. Yeah. Question number 10 is a book that made you cry. As you know, I don't really cry in things at all, but finishing Ted Lasso, 3rd season, that last episode, I sobbed as Ted Lasso finished. And I don't mean this in a hyperbole sense, I sobbed. Light wailing going on. Soft howl, you might even call it. Yeah, watch Ted Lasso if you haven't. A book that made you happy, I'd have to go for Finding Me. That book did just make me really happy. So inspiring, gave me so much to think on. Also, rereading Wave Kings. That made me happy. And then question number 12. Most beautiful book you've received this year. It has to be these bad boys. They are genuinely... If you have not spent the money on getting these hardback editions, I understand that. They were expensive. It was a Kickstarter, but they all have, like, full illustrations in them. They're just, like, beautiful doesn't even cover it. These are some of the most Folio Society level, like, high quality. They're amazing. Oh shit, there's another question. There's a question 13. How lucky. 13th question is, what books do you want to finish by the end of the year? I started the year saying that I want to read 12 plays. I've currently read 9. So I do need to keep cracking on with that, but obviously I'll make that. I kind of, if I'm honest, would be disappointed if I only read 12. I think I should read a lot more than 12 plays. You know, doing acting, I feel like you should read a lot of plays. But I would love to finish the Jane Austen Remedy, which I started a while ago by Ruth Wilson. I also would love to finish Improv by Keith Johnson, which is a fucking fascinating book, and for some reason I just have not finished it yet because I've been reading other things. Keith Johnson basically is the father of modern improv as we know it. Incredible writer, incredible performer. Do want to read some of the Secret Projects. I really would like to at least finish one. I really did have a dream of reading the Secret Projects as, like, they were coming out and being part of all the live streams and all the book clubs, but that just didn't happen, and I'm sad about that. And goal-wise, I do need to finish another classic, because I've only read Day of the Trifid. I've totally smashed already my non-fiction one. I've read several non-fictions by this point. In terms of running the second half of this year, training instead for some half marathons. I don't think I'm going to do another marathon until next year, and I might run Gold Coast, because that is the flattest marathon in Australia. People are known for running very fast PBs there. Anyway, I'm going to stop procrastinating and filming this and going back to learning my massive long monologue that I need to learn. I love you all a lot.